Because it is opening your heart. It is any trauma, anything that is a challenge, closes your heart. You become jaded. You become negative. You become unhappy. You become sarcastic. You become closed. So how do you undo that? How do you open that up?
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Inspired By with me, your host, Manjeet Nijjar. It's lovely to see you guys again. And as with every week, I'm going to say it again, I have another special guest with me, a lovely, lovely, amazing soul by the name of Daisy. Daisy, well, how can I describe her? She's beautiful inside and out, and she's very gifted. And we'll talk about her gifts in a while. But I met Daisy through a friend of mine, another beautiful soul, Am Gola. So I met Daisy through her. And Daisy has actually helped me quite a bit with things that were going on in my life. And I'll let her explain what she does in a little while. But let me just bring her on board. Hi, Daisy. How are you?
I'm brilliant. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, thank you for taking the time, because I know how busy you are with lots of people queuing up for your services. So without going into too much detail at this point, could you kind of like just tell everybody who's watching what it is that you actually do? But don't give the whole game away.
Okay, well, I'm an angelologist. I work with angels, and I have been for a while. And I have a healing retreat in Glastonbury, and I love what I do. It's just fabulous. I help people with all kinds of issues, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, karmic, spiritual, any kind of matter that arises. I help them.
Fantastic. Right, so before we kind of like dig too deeply into that, let's go back to when you were a child. So what kind of upbringing did you have? How many members in your family? You know, that kind of stuff. So allow us into your childhood and to find out who you were then.
I was a very inquisitive child, really naughty. I wanted to know everything. And I had a mother and a father and a brother, and we moved around a lot. So I went to 7 different schools.
Wow.
Which meant that I learned how to really interact with people, and how to have rapport. So those 7 different schools were quite. It was right across the country too. So from Cornwall right up to Birmingham, back to London, and back down to Cornwall, and then back to London again. So quite a lot of different accents as well. And the overriding feeling of my childhood was inquisitive. We were always doing something curious, always learning something new. We didn't have a television. That was a kind of family. Mum and Dad didn't want us to waste time watching TV, so I missed out on all the cultural stuff of the early 70s, 60s, 70s, but went to an amazing amount of churches.
Wow.
to see the what churches had to offer. We would travel right across Europe, and really as a family do lots of cultural things.
So what were you and your siblings like when you know, as you were growing up and then into your teenage years and so on? What were you like?
Well, my brother was 2 years younger, and apparently I was delighted when he came and thought he'd just been born for me. So we were great friends till about 7, and then rivalry set in.
Oh dear.
And 7 to 14, we were competing for everything. I remember very, very vividly. And then 14 to 21, we kind of went our separate ways. I was, as I mentioned, very inquisitive, and I suppose you'd call me a wild child. I was so independent and way ahead of other people's developments and thoughts. Hung out with the grown-ups and the big boys, and my brother carried on and went to university. I didn't. I bought houses and I started businesses, we now are brilliant friends. He's younger than I am, but he pretends to be older, which is lovely.
I have one of those. I have a little big brother, as I call him, my brother Amajit. He's younger than me, but he thinks he's older than me.
Yeah, it's nice to be felt. It's nice to be taken care of, isn't it, like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, this gift that you have, and it is such a powerful gift, and it's such a beautiful gift as well, of being able to allow people to understand themselves better, to be able to move on from whatever it is they need to move on from. When did you kind of like first realize, okay, I have something, or did you, I don't know, how does one know that you have this kind of gift?
You don't really know until it's pointed out to you.
Okay.
I think my grandmother was an amazing woman. That's my mother's mother. She would make you a cup of tea and read your tea leaves. She would know every tree, every plant, every herb, and so her teaching to me was quite phenomenal. And you learn it by osmosis. But I was really curious. So I was pickling onions at 4. I was making remedies at 7 and 8. And my mother would say that I would always bring in the bird with the broken wing and the 4-year-old boy down the road who I thought was lost but actually wasn't. So we had to go and find his mum and say sorry that I dragged him out of his garden. So I was always looking after people who I felt needed help. So I suppose it was like that mothering instinct and energy. And then as I got older, my grandmother would obviously was a huge influence, and my mother wasn't. My mother had turned her back on her gifts. She was also very highly gifted.
Okay.
So it's come through the female lineage. My mother is the 7th child of the 7th child from a spiritually, well, they didn't call them that. They called them wise women.
That's very sort of like that 7 is like oh wow.
7 is a magical number. Absolutely. So it wasn't until I was 21 when I had my child, my daughter Lara, that it all kicked in. That
How do you mean kicked in?
Well, I stopped being a wild child. I started to be more responsible, and I started to use the gifts for myself and my child. She had a skin issue, and the doctors gave me all of this ointment and pills and things, and it was like, no, I know what to do naturally. I know what to do instinctively, and that's what I did. I put vitamin E oil on the burn, on the rash, and it was phenomenal. I put poultice. She would hurt herself outside in the garden, and I'd find the right leaf to put on it. And so and I started to become more aware of what we were eating, what we were drinking, and just really started reading books. So 21 was when I really started to be aware of chanting, meditating. But again, it wasn't really for me. There was no way I was going to be a healer. I wasn't going to be one of those hippy dippy types, That wasn't me at all. And it took till I was 40 for that to actually kick into place.
Okay.
So from 21 till about, it was about 26, 27, coming up to 28. I from 28 right through the next 7 years, I had everything go wrong that could possibly go wrong. So these life experiences really happened. I've fallen off 3 cliffs in this lifetime. I've had over 8 car accidents. I've fallen out of a first floor windows all being pushed.
So you're a bit like a cat. You got more than 9 lives.
Oh, completely. Well, yeah. The portals of release are certainly there. You do recognise them. And so after this time of real challenge, and I think, now I realise that it was the Saturn return. It was everything and anything that could go wrong during that time. That's what happened, and that was the experience. And I think that's a really good boundary and a really good layer and a really good substance and a really good platform to really know yourself.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody who's watching this, right, and saying, this is all like woo-woo stuff, right? Sounds like it's part of a cult or something like that. Because there will be people, and quite naturally, who will say, not for me, don't understand it, don't need to understand it. It's like, it's not good stuff, just leave it all alone. How would you explain something like this to them?
Well, the woo-woo, I use the words woo-woo, it's magic. And you say magic to people, they go, whoa. But it's wonderful. It's nature. It's the wheel of the year. It's the full moon, the new moon. It's connecting to creation. It's connecting to yourself. And often we're afraid of the things that matter most. We are, our fears come up when we've got something really important to learn. And we've got something important to do. And so that resistance, and trust me, I was more resistant than the next. There was no way I was going to be doing this. Like I said, people kept saying to me all the way along, "Oh, you're amazing. I like being in your presence. I stood next to you and my arm felt better." And it's like, oh, go away, all words to that effect. So, skeptics, people who are inquisitive, they are curious. They want to know why or how. There aren't answers sometimes. It really is a mystery. And from that mystery comes the magic. And from that magic comes the understanding. And I think that's the most important thing, is if you are closed in your mind so that you are not open to understanding, you're not open to researching and learning, then you're the one that's missing out. If you are ready to listen to somebody and open your mind and do the research and try it, you might not like porridge until you try it, and then you might love it. You might never like porridge, and that's okay. That's your choice. But it's about giving yourself the permission to try it, and that's what I did.
What about those who would say, well, you know what, I've got my faith, my religion, organised religion as I call it, and I'd class myself as one organised, as in I'm a Sikh, I follow Sikhi, but that didn't stop me from reaching out to you to help me with what I was at that time going through. So what would you say to somebody who's like, well, I'm a Sikh, or I'm a Christian, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, and don't believe any of that? What would you, again, because I've gotten to know you over time, so how would you explain your gift and so on in context to the religion?
Well, the first thing I would say is that you have faith. And it doesn't matter what kind of religion, you have a faith. After the difficult times, I went through bereavement, through loss, through accident. I lost absolutely everything, my home, my partner, everything. I was searching for faith, because I had no faith. And I certainly didn't believe in the big man above, because I had lost everything I worked for had gone. And so I was searching, and I searched through these organized religions. I tried Christianity, I tried the born again Christians, I tried the Protestants, the Catholics, a lot of them you have to be born into. You can't become a Jew, you can't become you can join the Islamic religion, and I'm not sure about the Sikh. I think it's an amazing religion. I know nothing about. I have just a massive respect for the faith that it covers. Everyone's always so smiley and completely clear. It's about having faith. And right at the end of my journey, it was over 3 years. I mean, I was a Buddhist chanting for a good 2 years. I thought, what am I doing? I don't believe this. I believe in the lifestyle. What do I believe in? What is my faith? Who am I faithful to? And the answer was actually myself. The love, the nature, the being that was in me, and who had survived, who had managed to overcome all of these difficulties. My daughter was going to school, she was healthy, I was healthy, and we had a roof over our head. All of the belief in yourself brings back that faith. And I started to look around and find where the source of that faith was. And again, it doesn't matter what religion you have, that source shines. It shines through your eyes, it shines through your skin. And so where does that source come from? And that's where I started to believe. And the angels, they caught me when I fell off the last cliff, on the third cliff fall, which was in Skiathos. Amazing. I should not be sitting here talking to you, that's for sure. And they came to me every day. And again, I swore at my husband. I told my kids to go away. By this time, I'm married with 2 stepchildren. I have 2 boys with my husband. So there's 3 children, all around this woman who has fallen, who is completely shattered once again, and they see how I rebuild. And the angels were there. They could feel them. I could feel them. And sometimes it was such bright lights. I would shout at the boys and say, "Turn the lights off." And they go, "We haven't got them on. It's you."
Oh, wow.
And now, my boys are. My daughter's 42. My boys are. Because I didn't birth them, I always forget their ages, 36 and 33. And they themselves, you ask them, and they're very respectful of the fact that there is an unknown energy that is there. Alex will park his car and he'll look at the ticket and he'll go 11:11 and he'll laugh and he'll go, "Oh, the angels are taking care of my car today." So that's where the faith comes in. So yes, it doesn't matter, and I love all the different faiths. I mean, I find a lot of solace and source in the Hindu faith, especially with Amrita Andamai, the hugging guru in Kerala. She is phenomenal, and that is a very Indian cultural belief system, and yet there's space for it here. I'm sitting behind Merlin. Merlin is one of the oldest British pagan druid energies, and would you call it a religion? Not really. You would call it a way of life. And I think that's where the belief system, people ask me, what do you believe in? I believe in having a happy, balanced way of life filled with faith and trust and belief in yourself.
That's just like, that's really touched me. That is so beautiful. A happy, balanced, beautiful way of life. I mean, what more could we all ask for?
Well, that is it. And it's love. And how do you achieve that? You achieve it step by step. And you came to me because you needed some guidance and some help. I go to other people. That's how I learned how to do this. I've been training now with vortex healing for over 22 years. The angels, I went to Doreen Virtue's classes, but realised that actually Archangel Michael had taught me more than she did.
Yeah.
It's beautiful when you realise who your teachers are. But the man in the chip shop teaches you as well. It's everywhere.
There is that saying, isn't there, that everybody you come into contact with, whether it's for a minuscule of a second or whether it's a lifetime, they bring something with them, and they bring something to you.
Yeah, but it's being ready to receive that.
Yes, that's the difficult part, because a lot of us, due to society, culture, whatever, are quite closed to whatever the universe is trying to tell us, provide us with as well. And we tend to be quite close to that because of whatever's happened in the past. So how can you actually help somebody to be more accepting, maybe to open up and blossom into who they always were, but they're wearing this cloak for a long time?
Well, I realise that you've never seen any of my reading material or my books or my centre, because my strapline is open your heart, perk up your petals with Daisy and open your heart to your true being.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Because it is opening your heart. It is any trauma, anything that is a challenge, closes your heart. You become jaded, you become negative, you become unhappy, you become sarcastic, you become closed. So how do you undo that? How do you open that up? The first thing is a choice. You have to make the choice to do it. And as you open up that choice, as you open up that heart, you recognize that your physical body, it has 7 chakras, it has 7 portals, 7 openings. And if you can open your heart and then open those other portals, those chakras that govern the other parts of your body, your brain, your gut, your root, you can feel safe, you can feel trust, you can feel that you can speak your truth, you can feel that your intuition is valid, that you are respected for your faith, for your way of being, for your energy. So people come to me because they are closed, because they have an issue. Often they don't know why they've come. They've been recommended to for a friend. But I will help people who are just unhappy. During the lockdown, I've had the most unbelievable phone calls for people who are on the edge. They've absolutely on the edge. They don't know what to do. They're not sleeping. They weren't eating. They just could not understand where this anxiety and this fear was coming from. They needed to phone a friend, to speak to somebody. And so I talked to lots of people over lockdown, and I was doing an everyday meditation at 11:11 to bring the angels, but to anchor for you, for anybody, whatever your faith, to be able to just know that there was somebody there who you could go hi to.
Because I remember when I first came to you and you said to me, well, how can I help you? And I was like, I have no idea. Right. I said, I was talking to Am, and she said, oh, you need to speak to Daisy, she'll help you. I was like, well, I don't know how you can help me. I don't actually know what's wrong, but apparently you can help me with some healing. And the rest is history, as they say. We kind of went. So I can actually, first-hand experience say, yep, I came to you. I had no idea there was a blockage or whatever it was, that was going on at the time, but there was something there.
Yeah. So the expertise that I have, the gift that I have, is with the knowledge, the esoteric knowledge of how to project the healing. Every time I'm talking to anybody who has asked for help, I have my hands out, and you're here, so your head's there, your feet are here, and so you're in this hand and receiving, and I'm sending the energy from this hand, and it's like a printer, just goes through your system, and I'm sending you the healing. And then your body is made up of divine lines and vital web. It's called your blueprint. If you know about a blueprint on a computer, you'll know that there are those lines. So I send the energy through those lines and through your chakras. And of course, I know where your head chakra is, it's there. I know where your root chakra, it's there, and your heart is in the middle. So we send the energy through your divine lines, your vital web, and I talk you through the process of you feeling safe, you plugging in, you anchoring, you earthing, so that you have the tools to do this on your own. And the one thing that I send everybody away with is how to breathe and release through their fingers. And, you know, it's the best tool ever. Psychiatrists, psychologists, children's nurses, they all use this. It's been used forever. You make contact with your spiritual body. You make contact with your karmic body. You make contact with your emotional body, your mental body, your whole physical body. And you just love it. And you let go any stuff that's in it. Very simple. I do make things simple. The training that I've had is very complicated. It's taken a long time, and you have to go through your own ego positions. That's the position the ego takes up this position, which again is where you're stuck, or where your patterning is, or where you can't see where you have a problem but everybody else can. That's we call that a karmic knot, a knot that you're in denial over. So the training that I have had has helped me to go through these choice points, these positions, and to then be able to recognize them in other people. So not only do I help people who have blockages in their emotional being, but people who are really ill, really poorly.
I was just going to come on to that, actually.
Oh, perfect.
So you kind of preempted. But what I wanted to ask you was, so somebody who's like really ill, I mean seriously ill, okay, somebody maybe with Alzheimer's or dementia, and then we have people with cancer, we have people with, you know, so many different ailments.
Well, infections, COVID, long COVID.
Yeah. All of this, how can you actually do what you do? You know, can you help them to? I'm gonna speak broadly. Can you help them to get rid of it, whatever it is? Can you help them to deal with it, to live with it, to learn to live with it, to calm it down? What is it? What can you offer with people who have these kind of conditions and experiences and so on?
Well, the quick answer is yes.
Yeah.
And the way that so you've mentioned quite a few ailments there. Some of them are chronic, some of them are acute. So some of them, the chronic ones, will be forever. Acute ones are ones that are at a hiatus at the moment, and they come and they go. For instance, an infection or a bereavement issue. Or Alzheimer's is something that creeps up. So again, it's something that, and cancer grows, so you can catch the cancer early. For something like a cough or backache, somebody with backache who's got a stenosis of the spine, you know, we look to why there's that stenosis of the spine. What is it that they haven't felt supported over? If someone has cancer, what is their resentment that has caused this part of your body to eat itself? Because that's what cancer is. You know, whether it's of the gut, whether it's of the colon, whether it's of any part of the body, it's focused. You know, breast cancer is resentment and heartache. So, you know, we look to what it is behind to clear those issues first. And then once you clear those issues, and quite often that can take 2 or 3 sessions to get to the nitty gritty. I know with your sessions we got there pretty fast because of the work that you do, because the inner work that you do and your own inner net makes a difference. So if it's an acute issue, so we'll go back to Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is more upsetting for the family than the person. So I talk to the whole family. So we talk to how, and we have the whole of the family in that healing realm, in that healing grid. And the person who has the dementia or Alzheimer's, they are different. One's at the front of the brain. And, you know, there's 230 different kinds of Alzheimer's. My mother,
I know, it's huge.
Unbelievable. My mother had a life expectancy. She had a brain tumor of 3 to 5 years. She lasted 35 years.
Wow.
So we just forgot the just took out any of the dots in the middle, It wasn't 3 to 5, it was 35.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because she walked her talk, she did do all the things, and we did have regular healing sessions. And the brain with Alzheimer's is about the proteins. It's about your foods. It's about how your body works and reacts. So how do I pinpoint it? I talk to you. I talk to you. I have a questionnaire. We consult, and then we do one bit at a time. So step by step by step. And people come to me for 3 to 4 years. I've got people who have come in for 10 years, and and they have now the issues that they came with have gone, and they now come for maintenance.
Yeah.
So a lot of cancer issues. Cancer now is one of those diseases that there's an incredible amount of energy that medically can help to combat. But the big one at the moment is COVID, and lots of people are recognizing that it's a virus, and a viral overload brings in the energies of the body having to deal with that, because so ME is a viral overload. Lots of autoimmune diseases are a viral overload. Shingles is a virus overload. There's so many of them, and they sit in the spine. So you have to work the other way. You have to really get to the nitty-gritty to improve your immune system and to get the energy flowing through you. So the infection protocol is amazing. I've got people who have had long COVID for 4 or 5 months now. Some of them have had it right from the beginning, 9 months. They've had 3 sessions with me, and because we've talked it through, we've worked out where their blockages are, they're back. The fatigue, the viral overload has diminished.
Yeah.
So I think it's amazing, and I love it. I love being able to work like that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I mean, we've just had 3 sessions. I say just. They were hard sessions.
They were pretty intense.
They were. I think the second one, first or second one, was really, really intense. But the thing is as well that, yes, you do your work, but then I have to do the work as well. If I'm not willing to do the work, I'm not going to get the results.
But the reason that you got such quick results within 3 was because you had already done the work.
Yeah.
You had got to the crossroads, and you'd got to the big boulder. You'd managed to clear all the shingles, all the stuff, all the other stuff around you, so that the big boulder was what was left. And I came along, I could see that big boulder, and I moved it out the way. And then you have to still keep the flow of energy. But people who have no knowledge of this, please don't think, oh gosh, she's so intense and it's going, I've got to do so much. I work completely from the person's, what the person is.
It's individual, isn't it? It's one-to-one. It's what that individual needs, and it depends on where they are in their own journey of healing themselves.
Yeah, the universe will only ever give you what you can handle and what you can cope with. And when we have a lot and an intensity, we realize actually we need that. You need a good wash sometimes. You have to have a real spin and a proper wash. And so that's why it gets intense. But I think of it like childbirth. You have to go through that crowning, that pain, that push to really get through. Yeah. And I do some most incredible work with bringing the new babies in. So many women come to me who can't have babies, and they clear what it was that was blocking them. Often it's my husband's nowhere near me. Where's your husband? Oh, he's in New York. Well, that won't work, will it?
No, it's not going to help, is it? No. But I mean, I find it absolutely fascinating what you do.
Thank you.
And not just fascinating out of curiosity, but it's just amazing how your techniques, we don't go into them, but the techniques that you use are very, very simplified. As you said, they're quite complicated for you to learn, but then it's what you do with them to simplify them so that average Manjeet walking down the street can actually have a conversation with you and can start the process of understanding and healing, because essentially that's what you're enabling me to do, which is to heal that part of myself, or it could be the whole body depending on what's going on, but heal, for me personally, it was a particular part of myself that kind of needed to acknowledge, accept, and then release and grow from there. And it was done in such a kind, gentle, loving, supportive, non-judgmental environment. And it was all through Zoom as well. So none of it was face-to-face.
I know. You wait till we meet.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, then. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm so looking forward to meeting you face-to-face. So it's like it's going to go and pop.
Yeah, the difference is incredible, and people say to me, "How can it work?" And thank you for those kind words. It is step by step, and it is about love, and it is about understanding and trusting. Yeah. I don't take credit for the light. I am the conduit for that light, and the light comes through me. And if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't come through me.
Yeah.
And I thankfully, luckily, I don't have bad days when I've got healing sessions. But I do go through days where I have to sort out my own stuff.
Yeah.
But the
Can I just stop you just 1 second there, though, if that's okay with you?
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for people to understand that, because I get it as well. Well, you're a coach. Why do you need coaching? Well, I need help as well, right? I can't coach myself. It's going to be the same for you. You can't literally heal yourself. You need somebody else to be able to do it for you or with you.
Yeah, healer, heal thyself is the adage.
Yeah. And
healer, heal thyself means that you have to know who to go to.
Yes.
And you have to be discerning in your own judgments of yourself, because the last thing you want to be told is so-and-so. But if you have, I see so many coaches, so many reflexologists, yoga teachers, they never breathe. I teach yoga teachers to breathe. I mean, it's wonderful. I love it. But because they breathe yogically, they don't breathe energetically, they don't breathe circularly, they don't breathe in the pranic light. So it's very important for me to have my own healing time and downtime, and to catch this ascension, because this energy that we're going through now is phenomenal. It's fabulous. It's
in what way?
Exciting. We're going through changes. We're at the end of a whole epoch. We're going through from the age of Pisces, which was all about the Christed lights, into the age of Aquarius. And you can see it, the age of technology, the age of air. I am actually an Aquarian, and the Aquarian age is all about generosity and inquisitiveness. But it's also, my friends say to me, my feet are firmly planted in the air, because
I've not heard that before, but that's quite a good one, yeah.
because it is going with the flow. It is recognizing that, being stuck in the past, being angry with people who you can no longer blame for something because that's so long ago. Let it go, girl. Let it just open up to the fact that we're in new times. And what COVID has done is given us a rest. It's given us a time to really see another way of doing things. And I think the compassion that has come out of this whole 12-month period, along with the fears, and those fears, when they've come up, they've had to be dealt with. I think we're going to have 7 years at least of newness, of experiencing and being curious about what it is we really want to do with our lives.
Yeah, I think there's at the moment as well, there's a lot of, it's always been there, but I think it's more amplified now,
100%,
where things are not settled in certain parts of the world. If you look at what's happening in Israel, if you look at what's happening in India, and if you look at...
Aren't they biblical?
Sorry?
Aren't they biblical? Aren't they the same things that have been going on for 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 years?
I think it's...
cycle. It's just gone back. So let's do it differently. Let's not have Groundhog Day. Let's now do it differently. Let's be in that loving, compassionate, one for all. I think that's the other thing that the Zooms and the AI has taught us is we are one heart. We are one world. You know, how does this healing go across Zoom? It goes through the divine lines and the vital web, which is the same as the internet. And I call it the internet.
Yeah. And it's true. It's so true what you're talking about, because I was a bit skeptical, right? It's like, how is this going to work over Zoom? I don't get it. She's supposed to be healing me, but surely I have to be in front of her to help me to understand, and so on and so on. But that first session just blew me away, right? The amount you were able to pick up, and we didn't know each other. We've never spoken. I just sent you a message saying blah, 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 and we set up the date and so on. You know, and you did help me so much. It's ridiculous how much. three weeks, 3 sessions, and they weren't consecutive sessions either. We had quite a long break in between them as well.
6 weeks,
yeah. And but yeah, it was mind-blowing to say the least. You know, from my perspective, I'd encourage anybody who's watching this, if you feel stuck, is a one word that people use a lot, and I have a lot of my own coaching clients coming to because they feel stuck. So if you're feeling stuck, feel like you have a blockage, or whatever it might be, you know, if you're feeling a little bit lost, is to seek the right healer.
Yeah,
you know, and you are one of those people who people are naturally drawn to because of, you know, the aura and the vibe or the feeling that you get from you, because it is very much accepting. It is very much it's very loving. It's almost like being in your mum's arms, right, as a child. It's that loving embrace that you want, and you want somebody to give you that, and not only just give you that warm embrace, but then to help you to, I'm going to release you back out into the world, kind of thing, you know.
It's all about love, and it's not about it's not about ego love. It's about being selfless love. And a lot of, you know, what is the difference between a coaching session and a healing session? Well, the coaching is helping you to like exercise your mind, exercise your being, whereas the healing is just to let go and let the light come through. And so the healing is absolutely, I facilitate the angels to come through. I facilitate the universal light. I can help with counselling. The counselling training I've had is very helpful. And what's the difference between counselling and coaching? You know, one is listening and one is actually doing. So, and the whole thing about healing is I call this healing the way that you become the human being, not the human doing. And when you become that human being, when you awaken to your authentic self, when you really recognize that love is all there is, and any fear that arises is a gift, it's karma, it's the experience, and that fear that arises, just blow it away, love it, and blow it away. It's so simple, you know, but you know, and when people do that, they go, oh my God, how that was like blowing away 1,000 years. Because the energy is there behind it. I love what I do, Manjeet. I love it. You know, you had 3 sessions. Some people need 6. Some people only need 1. The 1 session is for somebody who is in crisis, and I can just dust the top off and put a plaster over. I can really help reset something. But if you want to reset the bones properly, if you want to really get to what's behind the behind, why have you got headaches? Because you're ungrounded. Why is your back hurting? Because you're not supported. Why are you finding it so difficult to sleep? It's because you're not anchored. You know, these are the longer term issues, and I do them in sets of 3. You know, you have 3, 6, 9, however long. But I love it. I have to say that I love what I do.
It comes across. I'm sure everybody can feel it through the screen. I'm the same as you from a coaching perspective. When you see that person blossom, when you see those light bulb moments, when you see those shifts, it's like, oh well, my job's done.
Yeah, I know.
Like, yeah, it is a wonderful, and I know, I think you feel this as well, is you feel a tremendous sense of responsibility when somebody comes to you.
Yes.
You know, they're trusting you.
Yes, 100%.
With whatever it is they're coming to you with.
Yeah.
You know?
And they often ask me, well, what are you going to do with that information? It's like, nothing. It's in and it's gone. I don't retain it because it's in the moment.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the big changes from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, is everything is so much more in the moment. You know, it's flit, it's in, it's and it's forgotten. You know, it is much more about being present and not being in the past or just dreaming about the future. Dream by all means, have a wonderful dream, have a goal, have an aspiration, but don't live in your dream. Exactly. Live in the moment.
Absolutely. Oh, Daisy, you are an absolute godsend.
Bless you. Or a goddess send.
Goddess send. Absolutely goddess send. We need more of you. Can you clone yourself somehow?
Oh, yes.
But you know what? This has been such a short snapshot of who you are and what you do. If people want to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you?
At Daisy Foss. I'm on every social media thing you can imagine. I have a wonderful website, daisyfoss.com. I have theangelsofawakening.com for those who are really into angels. And I have a healing retreat in Glastonbury, and you can go to that. It's daisycenters.com.
Oh, that'll be open soon then, will it?
We open today.
I need to get there. I'm going to be coming.
I've got 2 guests coming today, and we've got our first group at the weekend.
Oh, brilliant.
So I knew it's been 12 months. My business just fell off the cliff. It literally stopped. We're quite excited. It's just, look, you can have a look around. It's just so lovely in here.
Yeah.
You see, it's just wonderful.
It's beautiful.
And there's the rest of the altar there.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm very excited. You begin new now.
Absolutely. Okay, so before you go, if you could, actually, there's 2 things I want to ask you, and I ask everybody this. One is, if you could give somebody 3 bits of wisdom or 3 nuggets or whatever it is, what would they be? And then the other one is, when you have transcended into your next life or wherever it is you're going to go after here, how would you like to be remembered? So if you could sit in and listen to somebody talking about you once you've passed, how would you like to be remembered?
Oh, that's so lovely. How would I like to be remembered? I think making a difference. I think I'd like to know that I made a difference, that my legacy was of love, was of transformation, and that I was true to myself and true to you, whoever you are. That's it. Make a difference. That I was able to help in some way, small or large.
Hand on heart, you have. So that's how you are remembered already, and you're still here.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what nuggets would I give?
Three bits of information or wise words or whatever you want to say.
Well, the first one is to search for yourself, is to find your true, authentic self, because you have to search for it. You have to go into that internet. So find yourself, look for yourself, be yourself, be that human being, not the human doing. And when you find yourself, then take care of yourself. Change the things in your life that are not serving you, that are making you unhappy, are not helping you find your joy. So I would find yourself and then look for the joy, feel the joy, be the joy. And then the third thing is enjoy it. You know, so many people are striving to earn enough money to be thin enough, to be tall enough, to be this enough. You know, accept what you are, accept who you are, and have fun with it. So to enjoy what it is that you are doing in this moment, because that's all that matters, what you're doing in this moment. And if you really are unhappy in this moment, make the choice to be happy, to find your joy. Does that help?
Oh, yes, it does. That's amazing. Wonderful 3 bits of nuggets. I know I'm going to be playing this back afterwards.
Lovely.
Going over the whole thing again and seeing what else I can get out of this conversation.
Find yourself, find your joy, and enjoy your joy.
So I feel like even though, you know, we're sharing this conversation with so many people watching, I actually feel like you were just talking to me, that everything was between you and I. It's all personal. And it's like all these treasures that you're passing on to me. So
bless you.
Wonderful, wonderful conversation. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I do actually have an 8-day video of how to connect with your angels, how to awaken. It's on Soul and Spirit magazine, their page, and so that we made that just before lockdown. So I mean, the angels knew, we didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So fabulous.
Thank you so much again for taking the time out, because it's like you just, you know, you've gone back, you have your retreat open again, so that's
yes,
amazing.
I know. I'm looking very calm. I have been running around like a blue ass this morning. And,
No, thank you. So thank you to everybody watching. I hope I can't stop smiling. I hope you have gained as much joy from this conversation as I have, and the heartfelt warmth and love that actually Daisy just radiates for everybody. So I hope you've enjoyed it. And please do pass this on to like, subscribe and share. I do this because of people who inspire me. I hope, you know, in some small way, those people also go on to inspire you and others. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye. Bless you.